Hello, you lovely people. Welcome back again. And why live in a place, or why come to a country where the possibility of getting kidnapped is there, and the chances of getting scammed is possibly quite high, and it is rife. And the infrastructure is it's much left to the imagination of having a good infrastructure. So the question is good, really, isn't it? You know, it's a good question, which I do get asked many times by subscribers and by some people who are not subscribers. And trolls, of course. The trolls leave absolutely terrible comments, which don't really bother me anymore. I think they got something, psychologically wrong with these trolls, because there is a psychology behind this trolls and haters, but let's not get into that. So yeah, why do I want to live in a country where I could be kidnapped? Where obviously get scammed, which I was scammed. Yes, I was. I haven't been kidnapped yet. Hope that never happens. But again, it's a possibility. Yeah. But I like the idea of being here, guys. I really do. I think, the pros it outweighs the cons for me. And I think as long as you keep a relatively low profile and keep yourself to yourself and don't go around upsetting too many people, or anybody for that matter, then, you're safe, or as safe can be. So the reason that I'm here is not because of the beautiful women or my wife, because when I came here, I didn't have any of them this time. I didn't. I came here with my own intentions of living in a country where I like the temperature, and I do like the temperature, guys. I do. I like I like the sunshine. And I like this simple, quiet, quiet, he says, with the roosters and everything, and the videoke's gone. But listen, guys, I've joined that now. I've joined the crew of videoke. I've got one as well. Like they say, if you can't beat them, join them. You'll never beat them, so I've joined them. I've got a videoke, which I do sometimes play, especially at the weekends. And I'm walking through a lot of mud because it hasn't stopped raining here since the beginning of December on a daily basis. But I think the weather's changing now. Kidnapping. Well, yes, I'm not totally safe. I don't think any foreigner is totally safe. And I think if you're a Chinese national or a Korean national in that fraternity of gambling and criminality, your chances are a heck of a lot higher than mine of getting kidnapped. Many foreigners have been here for years. Nothing's ever happened to them. Yes, they have got discontentment of certain things. We all have discontentment of certain things, but I think I had more discontentment of a lot more things in England. Truly, worrying about making ends meet, worrying about having sick days and then getting behind on mortgage payments and getting behind on commitments, which most of us have in the UK. And I think that's the fortunate ones who have mortgages, because there's many people now in the UK could not even afford a mortgage. They have a terrible time paying rent. It's gone up so much. But here, I love it because I haven't got to worry about things that I would ordinarily worry about, like, making ends meet at the end of the month. We have a budget, we make that budget last. Yes, someone's suspecting things come up and we have to spend more than the budget accounted for, but we get by. Look, guys, I've got no rent, I've got no mortgage here. I live a relatively peaceful life, and you can see those roosters now, can't you? And I'm about 300 yards away from any house, but you can still hear them in the background, or I certainly can. But also, after a while, you get used to them. You don't really hear them, or I don't. I know some of you guys go, oh God, the roosters again is cracking me up. I know what you're feeling. I feel the pain because I used to think like that as well. But you do get used to it. So I think for me, the pros here definitely outweigh the cons. You know, I think it's a contented life that I've got here, and I think it outweighs the risk. Uh, do you know? When I used to go fishing sometimes in places what I suppose they were a bit secluded, because I used to go to the reefs and I used to, paddle through water to get to these reefs on these coastlines here. And yeah, a couple of people did say to me, Filipinos, be careful. And I thought that they were meaning be careful, that don't hurt yourselves on the reef, or, watch the waves coming and dragging you into the water. But looking back, they were saying be careful of where I'm going. Uh, but I've never felt that I've been in any danger here. I've never truly felt that I shouldn't be in a certain place, because I don't really put myself in them places where I think like that. I think your instincts come in, or if you've got half of a sensibility about you, your instincts would think, well, especially after being here for a while. If you haven't been here for long, then maybe those instincts aren't there yet, because you might think everywhere is safe here. But in reality, guys, it's not. In reality, uh, everywhere isn't safe in the Philippines for foreigners. But generally speaking, we know the safe places and we know where not to go. And if you don't, if you're already here, then perhaps you should do a bit of research and find out. But scammers, yes, I was scammed, which I did a video about that. And anyone can be scammed anywhere. Now, when you move into a country like this, I think you've got more chance of being scammed by a lady, because they just want more. They just wanting something. They see a foreigner as an opportunity, maybe not just for themselves, but for their families as well. Because here it's kind of well known that if you take on a girl here, then you're expected to actually put something towards the family. It could be the sisters or the mum, dad, grandmother, and things like that. But honestly, I've never been asked for that here, from my wife now. We've been together 5 years, I think 5 or 6 years, I can't remember. But her family don't ask me for anything. And when I do give, which is not very often, guys, I give out of my my generosity, not because they've asked for it or they've expected it. And they, you know, they are, they're good people. And I think it depends where you are as well. I think if you're in the province, like in the mountains, where we kind of are in the mountains, well, we are. It's a little bit different. It's a lot more simplistic here. Uh, Roosters again, guys. I do apologise. I really do apologise. I know it's irritating, but just hear me out. I think if you're in the provinces and you're out of the way of the cities, it's a much more simpler life. But I appreciate it, guys, that a lot of you couldn't live like this. I do appreciate it, and I do understand, because it is very simplistic, and you are away from maybe some half decent eateries, some restaurants and things like that. If you like fast food, we're even away from the fast food places here. So the weekend is our treat, going into the city, in Dipolog City, and perhaps going into like a little restaurant, or even into McDonald's. But it's nice to have something to look forward to. The little simplistic things, even looking forward to going to McDonald's or like a restaurant at the weekend, which I think back in my own country, I used to just take it for granted. So there was nothing really in that way to look forward to. But I think it's nice to have little simple things to look forward to. And getting back to the scammers, yeah, you have got to be careful. I was green, when I first came here. Not this time round, the time before. Okay, so it wasn't this time round. I was still working. I hadn't come here full time then. I was only coming here for a holiday, then I went back and blah, 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 you know. But I wasn't here full time then. But yes, I was scammed big time. And a lot of you have said millions of what? Well, it was pesos. It wasn't millions of pounds. My goodness, if you had millions of pounds here, you know, you could have your own security, you could have your own complex, you could have your own subdivision, you know. But it was millions of pesos, guys. It wasn't pounds, you know. And yes, you know, the infrastructure here can get really irritating. You can have brownouts, but I think in my previous videos I've got, you know, I showed I've got a little generator which it gets us through in the times of brownouts. And generators, are, you know, it depends how much you need your electric, you know. Well, I do. So when there's a brownout, I'll simply go outside, start the generator, and then just have a switch over, and it just, you know, it powers my house. So that doesn't bother me. The brownouts, like I said, the kidnappings don't bother me because I don't think I'm in any danger. But that's what that's what we all say until something bad happens. But up until now, it's all good. You know, it's all been good. And I do like the people here. I really do. I think the people here is probably some of the nicest people that I've ever met. Yes, some have ill intentions, bad intentions. You know, they might, you know, befriend you for their own interests. But generally speaking, where I am and the people that I've met this time around, guys, they've been very helpful. In fact, you know, when I've needed something doing on my motorbike and I haven't had all of the tools to do it, they will go out of their way and they will go and get the tools and they will come and, you know, they will help and things like that. And are they expecting a financial reward? I don't know, maybe, but I just say, you know, what do you want? They say, no, sir, no, I don't want anything, but I do. I always give them something. And it's not a lot. It could be 50 pesos, it could be 100 pesos. It depends on, you know, what they've done. But are they expecting it? I don't know. But I give them it anyway. And there's another thing as well about finding your own food, because I do miss sometimes, you know, my own British food. But if you look hard enough and you go to the bigger places, you know, you can find it. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's okay if that's what you want to do. You know, you can find it. You know, you can find Western food here in some of the bigger supermarkets and some of the bigger malls. Where I am here in the province, can't find anything like that. But I can find bacon here. But again, it's not the bacon that you'd expect back home. It's very thin, and you've got to put it in the frying pan for about 5 seconds. If you put it in for any longer than that, it goes crispy, like a, you know, like a dried up leaf. So you've got to watch that because it's so thin. But it's okay, you know, you get used to it. What else? What else? Why I'm here? I just love it here. I do, truly, guys. I do. I love it here. I could think of 101 bad reasons, but I can think of 1,001 good reasons. You know, I think if you look for bad in anything, you can find it. You know, it depends on your mindset. You know, I think if you, well, put it this way. I'll put it this way. The thought of me going back to England and living in England doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. And that wouldn't matter if I was married here or if I was single here. And some of you guys, you know, you might have a better life if you're single here because you can do what you want. You can move around the Philippines. You can go island hopping. So you've got a bit more freedom if you're single and you haven't got no children here. You have got that. But for me, I'm just contented having a peaceful life, really, except for the roosters and the karaoke. But as I said, I've joined the natives with my own karaoke, or videoke as they call it here. And you know, if you can't adapt, guys, you know, you aren't gonna settle here. You really aren't, you know. And yes, there is the possibility of your relationship breaking down. Nothing's guaranteed. No matter where you are in the world, relationships are never guaranteed. But I think if you are always got that suspicion that every lady is out there to scam you, then you know you're never going to find anything really in that way. So yeah, kidnapping doesn't bother me till it happens. Oh God, I hope not. I hope not. Imagine that there'll be vloggers doing a video of me. British expat did a video saying kidnapping didn't bother him and then he's being kidnapped. Am I tempting fate? No, I don't think so. You know, you've got to, you know, I think, guys, if I was to feel in any kind of danger here, then why would I want to live here? And that's the way that I see it. If I did feel in any danger, or I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do the things that I wanted, then I simply wouldn't live here. I simply would not live here. It's as simple as that. I don't feel in any danger. I don't feel that, you know, because I've been scammed once, that is going to happen again. It could. It could. Of course it could. Of course it could. You know, life is full of unexpectations. You know, nothing is a given. Nothing is a given. But if you don't take chances, then you'll never know. And you'll never find out. Maybe some people are not willing to take chances. Well, that's all well and good as well. That's what makes the world go around. We're all different. We've all got different feelings and we've all got different ways of things. And this is a bit clarty here, a bit dirty. And a lot of you guys have asked where I come from originally. Well, I was born in Durham. I was born in this little village called Crook in County Durham. And it's in Wearside. A tiny little village, and it was in a valley. And I've got some fond memories, but my father was from the south of England. So when I became, before my teenage years, for opportunities of education and stuff, my father decided to move, I'm just walking through this class here, I'm trying to get round it, to move us all to the south. So then we moved to London. And we later moved further south to a place called Hastings in East Sussex, which was the Battle of 1066, very famous for that. And we lived very close to the ruins of the castle, actually. Great place, I loved it. But I don't like the way, you know, England's become. But that's in a previous video anyway. I love it here. There is no woke culture here, guys. It just doesn't exist. People call a spade, and no one takes no notice, and no one is offended. That's the way it is, and I love it. So guys, yes, that's just a little video of that. Again, guys, if you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the notifications. I'm going to go in, guys, because I think it's going to rain again, and I've got some work to do. But thank you for always stopping by, and thank you for the subscriptions. It's gone crazy lately. It really has. Every time I look, there's more subscribers, so I'm pleased you're enjoying the content. And to my subscribers who have already subscribed, thank you so much. And to my new ones, equally, thank you. Take good care, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.